Welcome to It's Time with Shari. Today I'm very much privileged to be with a very popular man. He's well loved here in Canada. He is actually a best-selling author, chairman and CEO of Western Canada's biggest independent publishing company, and he is a professional speaker. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Peter Legge. Hi,
Thank
Peter.
you. Good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have this interview with you.
What you didn't say, you are in Canada.
Yes, I
Yes,
am
in
in
Vancouver,
Canada.
Canada.
Yes, just to have this interview. Okay, so Peter, tell us your story. You were an immigrant. You were not a Canadian.
I wasn't born here.
Yes.
I was born in London, England.
Mhm.
And when I was 4 years old, my parents sent me to a private boarding school in England, which wasn't good. Uniforms and all kinds of abuse that you get there. There's no sense complaining because nobody's listening. So when I was about 10 years old, my father decided that he needed to emigrate from London, and he decided on Vancouver. Now the reason he decided on Vancouver is because he was in the Merchant Marines in England,
Yeah.
and the first ship he sailed on was called Vancouver City.
Oh.
So he fell in love with Canada,
Mhm.
fell in love with Vancouver, and he said, that's where I'm going to emigrate. And he ended up in New Westminster
Yes.
because it reminded him of Westminster, England.
Yes.
He spent his entire working career in New Westminster, which from where we sit is maybe 25 minutes away from where we are sitting right now. And he decided to serve the community
Yes.
and be the best person he could in the city of New Westminster. And he was involved in every organization, whether it was the Rotary Club or the Civic Society or whatever it was, and he ended up being president of every single organization.
Wow.
And he said, that's how I'm going to build my business, by serving others, by serving the community.
Yes.
When he passed away, the service was in New Westminster. 1,000 people came to that funeral. What I believe they did, they came to the funeral to say, thank you, Bernie, for what you did for our city.
Yeah.
So I had a good father who taught me how to do things properly.
Yes. He inspired you.
Yes.
Yes. And so what do you love about Canada? You decided to stay, of course.
Yeah, that was in New Westminster.
Yes.
I went to junior high and senior high in New Westminster. And then I went into, I've been in the media business all my life. But the reason I love Canada is free, and you can do and be just about anything you set your mind and heart to do. You probably can do that in England, but not quite as easily as you can do. Not that it's easy, but and I thought this is where my dad and mom moved. When they passed away, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to build my life in Canada.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fast forward to you establishing Canada-wide media company. Tell us about that.
It's an interesting story. I was working at a radio station, and I thought I was doing a good job. I was a sales manager. I've been there for about 3 years, but I had philosophical differences with the owner, and he fired me. I'm not the first guy to get fired. I'm not the last guy to get fired. And so I had to drive home, about 45-minute drive. I drove very slowly,
Yeah.
because then I had to face my wife and tell her I had been fired.
Yes.
What was she going to do? What was she going to say? Was she going to kick me out? Was she going to be really upset? And so I pulled into the driveway and I went in the back door of the house, and she said, "A good day today?" Well, it was a bit different. "We'll talk about it?" I said, "Yeah, let's get a glass of wine and we'll talk about it." So we're sitting in the front room, and she said, "Well, what's up?" I said, "I don't know how to tell you this, but I got fired today." There was silence.
Yes.
And she looked at me and she said, "Good.
Oh.
You should not be working for somebody else. You're too talented, you're too smart, you're one of the best salesmen I've ever known. You go start your own business." That was her reaction.
Yes.
And so the next day I shined my shoes and I showered and I cleaned up, and I went out and I found this little magazine that was having financial difficulties, and I bought it for $1. I changed the name of it
Yes.
to TV Week magazine,
Yes.
and that's how we started some 45 years ago with the magazine.
Yes.
We still have that magazine today. It's still our #1 magazine,
Yes.
but we've got 30 other magazines.
Yes. TV Week is your first magazine. You
Yes.
bought it for $1.
Yes.
Wonderful. But I would just like to go back to the statement of your wife. That was just great because instead of being disappointed, she motivated you. And yeah,
Absolutely.
she saw the best in you that
Yeah.
you can be your own boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
started it all.
It started it all. She could have gone a couple of different ways.
Yes.
Well, you got fired, I'm leaving. But no, she said, that's good, because you're too talented for those people. You've got enough creativeness
Yes.
and determination that you can build your own company that you own, that you can make a difference.
Yes. And TV Week led to more magazines.
Yes.
How many magazines do you publish now?
We have about 31, but we're not just magazines. We
Yes.
have a web division, we have contract publishing that we do,
Yes.
and we developed these subscription boxes over the
Yes.
last couple of years.
Yes.
We do a substantial piece of business with that, and we work in the community and do promotions, and so we're everything's involved. It's all media, all
Yes.
media based,
Yes.
but it's not all just magazines.
Yes. So what is Canada-wide media known for? What is your commitment as a company?
Our commitment, we're just in British Columbia.
Yes.
Our commitment is to serve the community to the very best of our ability, whether it's helping a fundraising effort, whether it's helping doing a telethon, whether it's publishing a magazine for an organization we do on a contract.
Yes.
And we want to be known as honest and faithful and dedicated and community-based. And yes, we make mistakes, but we do the very best job we can. And over the years, we've just grown and grown.
Good.
So,
That's good.
yeah.
And
And people trust us.
yes.
They believe everything. If we say this is the way it is, they believe that. They don't second guess us.
Yes.
That doesn't mean we don't make mistakes, but we always tell the truth. I learned years ago, never ever lie, cheat, or steal, ever,
Yes.
for any reason.
Yes.
For any reason.
And that's what built you.
Yes.
And that your integrity is solid in this community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And you talk to anyone in town and say, they're honest. They do exactly what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And if we can exceed expectations, we will, of course, but we always do what we say we're gonna do.
Yes. Why do you do what you do?
Well, since high school, I've been involved in media. It's been radio, television, newspapers, magazines, and I like the flexibility that media gives you to do things to serve the community as well as you're going along.
Yes.
And Zig Ziglar, who passed away a few years ago, said this. He was a motivational speaker. He said, you can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want in life. So if you help other people get what they want, they'll help you get what you want.
Yes.
So you need to serve other people. You need to serve the community. You need to give. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's advertising, sometimes we do a magazine for them.
Yeah.
But what could you do to serve the community and help those organizations and uplift them?
Yeah.
That's what being in this business can do when we own it.
Yeah. That is inspiring.
Yeah.
Yes. You are also a professional speaker.
I am.
Tell us about your being a professional speaker.
Well, that probably started in high school. In fact, it started in junior high school. I was asked to be the speaker at the last event in the theater, which was in New Westminster, and the kids seemed to like it, and I seemed to like it. And so when I went to high school, I emceed all the weekly events.
Yes.
And then I stretched out, so maybe I could actually make some money speaking for somebody.
Yes.
So that's how I got into it.
Yes.
And I think I've got developed pretty good. I've done about 5,000 presentations over the years.
Yes.
And there's something happened. Someone says to me, we can be sitting with you at lunch, not knowing you're going to be the guest speaker. Then they introduce you and you go up and speak. And it's like someone turns a switch on your back.
Yeah.
And you wait. You
Yeah.
tell stories and you dazzle people with what you're doing.
Yes.
But always with a view to uplift them
Yes.
and have them see in themselves what they could do,
Yes.
how they could serve, how they could be married to the same person for 50 years, how they could raise their children, how they could be a difference in their community.
Yes, and that's what you do.
That's what I try and do, yes.
Yes. What is your passion? You are in media for more than 40 years. You are a professional speaker, a multi-awarded speaker at that, since you also have your Toastmasters Golden Gavel Award.
Yes.
And you're also a philanthropist. So what is your passion?
Well, philanthropy, it goes back, it's actually a Greek word. It means to love mankind.
Yes.
And if you love mankind, there are people that need help in just about every community.
Yes.
Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's affirmation, sometimes it's encouragement. And so we can't give all the money that we're asked to give,
Yes.
but maybe we can give you some pages in our magazines to promote your event.
Yes.
Maybe I can MC your event for you.
Yes.
Maybe I can speak for you at your annual meeting.
Yes.
Whatever I can do. And so not many people, a lot of people can do it, but
Yeah.
not many people actually do it.
Yes.
They talk about it, but they don't do it.
Yes.
So if you came to me and said, we're having a convention with our staff from Western Canada, we can't afford a speaker, would you speak? I'd say, well, when's the date? And if I can, I'll do it for you.
Wow.
So that brings us
Yes.
closer together
Yes.
on a different plane.
True.
And then if I'm talking to you about advertising or promotion or doing your magazine
Yes.
or whatever, you're much more receptive to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. And I have also met your eldest daughter,
Samantha, yeah,
You are a father
3 girls.
of 3 girls.
Yeah.
What is your style of fatherhood?
Having a great wife who, Kay always wanted to be an at-home mom.
Yes.
That's my wife's name, Kay.
Yes.
And so while I was building the business, she was raising the kids.
Mm.
And the only thing I said to them was, you all have to go to university. It's not questions.
Yes.
You have to do it. I'll pay for it, but you have to go.
Mm.
You have to get degrees because you have to be well educated
Yes.
to look after yourself.
Yes.
So they're all married to great guys.
Yes.
I have 7 grandchildren.
Mhm.
And so I think it's giving them the freedom to be themselves,
Yeah.
knowing that they are unconditionally loved,
Yes.
but yet you always try to encourage them and push them a little further than they think they can go.
Yes.
Because we all can do that.
Yes.
You can go a little further than you think you can go.
Yeah.
Someone necessarily needs to help you, needs to nudge you
Yeah.
along.
And you are that support.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would also like to highlight the fact that you always give tribute to your wife. Say, I would love to meet her because, behind the success of a man is a great woman.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've got the greatest.
Yeah, wonderful.
We've been married a little over 50 years,
Yes.
and I'm crazy about her,
Yeah.
and I love her with all my heart, and she is the anchor to the family.
Yes.
And she'll tell me, she said, I don't think that's the right thing for you to do.
Yeah.
And I'll be thinking, probably don't do it.
Mm.
Well, she'll say, no, you can do those things.
Yeah. Peter, you're already very successful. You're an accomplished father, businessman, philanthropist, speaker. What else can you do? What drives you?
Well, I think God has had a great influence in my life. And God has told me time and time again, love and serve the community to the best of your ability. And most people, unfortunately, can do that, but they don't do that. They all think it's about writing a check.
Yeah.
But what happens if you can't afford to write a check? But what happens if someone comes to you and you discover they need several thousand copy paper
Yes.
that you've got?
Yes.
Give it to them.
Yeah.
Give it to them. It'll come back to you tenfold. So it's not all about writing $1 million checks.
Yes.
It's not all about speaking for free. What can you do for that person?
Yes.
Maybe you could be his or her mentor,
Yes.
and you can encourage them, encourage their spirit, and uplift them, and cause them to be better than what they think they can be.
Yes. Wow. That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
the best thing any person can do, to push another person to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be your legacy?
Well, I hope so. That would be very nice if it were. And I think I do that naturally.
Yes.
I like to listen a lot, and I ask a lot of questions when I'm with someone to determine where you think you want to go and what you want to do,
Yes.
and encourage you to do so, if I can.
Yes. That's wonderful.
Because you can do infinitely more than you think you can.
True.
Most people can't. They can do infinitely more than they think they can. But don't spend 8 hours a day watching television. Don't spend. Don't waste your life.
Yes.
A day is precious.
Yes.
A day is precious. So what can you do for somebody today? Just one person.
I love that question.
Yeah.
That's the question that you should ask yourselves all the time. What is the thing that you can do for somebody today that makes life more meaningful? What are the 3 philosophies that you have in life? If I may ask, if you have 3 or more, you can share with us.
Well, it's to stay married and to love my wife unconditionally.
Beautiful.
That's number 1. Number 2, to be there for my 3 girls, but not in a dictatorial way. What can I do to help them, encourage them, and help them, direct them into where they're going? To have a company that most of the employees, hopefully all of them, but that's almost impossible, but let's say all the employees are proud of.
Yeah.
And like people come here and they say, nobody swears here. Why? Because he doesn't.
Yeah, lead by example.
Yeah. Nobody hits on the girls. Why? Well, he doesn't.
Very good.
It doesn't mean I'm not friendly, but
Yes. You are a gentleman.
Yeah, gentleman.
Yes.
So you have to lead by example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. If there's one advice that you can give to young people out there who would like to achieve even just as half as you have achieved, not just to succeed, but also to be a good influence to others, what advice would you like to give?
I think you have to believe in yourself and recognize that God does not make any junk.
Beautiful.
God has burnt in you the passions and desires and the abilities to do infinitely more than you think you can.
Yes.
Call on Him and ask Him to help you. Call on Him and say, guide me.
Yes.
And He will. He will. And do the best you can in every situation.
Yes.
Every situation.
Yes. That is wonderful. Truly inspiring. Yes.
Thank you.
I will definitely want to have more time and interview with you, perhaps in the part 2 of this interview. Would you allow me to do that?
Well, happy to do that. Yeah, happy to
Okay.
do that.
So thank you so much, Peter.
Thank
It
you.
was such a great
My
time.
pleasure, my
yes,
pleasure.
yes. I hope you get to catch this, not just on YouTube and Facebook, but also on my channel 34. Thank you so much for watching. Mr. Peter Legge. You'll have more of him in the succeeding episodes of It's Time with Shari. There's just one verse that I'd like to share with you today, as I am so much inspired with his words. Mr. Peter Legge, a philanthropist and an acclaimed professional speaker and a best-selling book author, from Proverbs 3 verse 5. Lean not on your own understanding, but acknowledge God in all your ways, and He shall direct your path. Thank you so much for watching. If anything is worth doing, it's worth doing well. I'm Shari Elam, your host for It's Time with Shari.